Welcome to Beyond The Stu, the podcast that goes beyond the music and dives into the heart of the creative journey. I'm Marcel, your host, and each week we'll explore what it really takes to turn passion into progress. This isn't just about melodies and lyrics, it's about the lessons, the insights, and the tools songwriters need to elevate their own craft and own their path in the industry. So whether you're an artist, a creative, or just someone chasing a dream, this is your space for inspiration, education, and empowerment. So let's go beyond the studio, shall we? Welcome. This is Beyond the Stu. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Beyond the Studio. I'm your host, Marcel Solomon. This is the very first episode. Wow. Took a lot to get here. So hello everybody. Hello songwriters. Hello friends. Hello family. I am going to talk about some pretty insightful things on this podcast, address different issues that the music industry faces. As far as bias, I give my point of view. My point of view comes from a background of business, as I graduated from the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, with business entrepreneurship. And 2014, a few years later, I received my graduate certificate in new venture management, also from UNLV. I actually recently just graduated from University of Miami, December 12th, and received my master's in live entertainment management, you guys. Thank you. I took enough bows already. But yeah, so I have my computer up. I have Chat GPT up. I have YouTube up. And I dive deep into the current events in the music industry. And so today I want to talk about correcting the beat. How the industry is changing for the better. Episode 1, correcting the beat. How the industry is changing for better. You hear a lot about how the music industry is in shambles. We hear about the cases that high-end music execs are facing. This is the first one, so I will tread lightly. I do have opinions on what's going on, but I understand that it could be political when you're talking about idols, famed musicians. And it's a very dicey situation. And I'm always pro-human. No one person, music, actor, celebrity, somebody should be above the law by any means. But there is a reason there is a due process. And I've learned over the years as I grow that it is best to not rely on my own understanding and let the man above handle it all. But this is the free world, right? We all have our 2 cents. We all have what we really want to say. So I'll try to intertwine that into our discussions, our future discussions, today's discussion. But back to the music industry and where it's going and how independent artists is really the wave. There's a lot of different tools that I've learned that are available for artists. Primarily helping artists distribute and publish their own music. A lot of attorneys, music attorneys, and songwriters are speaking out how it's best that artists have their own music label. And it's very simple to do. It's just the LLC. You may already have an LLC. get a DBA, change the name to so-and-so records, and voila, so-and-so publishing, and voila. And what that does for songwriters is allows you to get a bigger share of the pie. I was watching a YouTube video yesterday and about how to sign up for BMI, which is a performance rights organization, PRO. And if you want to receive payments for your song being played or performing your song, they are one of many institutions that ensure songwriters receive their royalties and their rightful earnings. BMI, ASCAP, CSAC are the three in the United States. I think I was on TuneCore, and TuneCore said it was over 200 in the world, right? So, to be an independent music publisher, what does that mean? That means that you're going to exploit your songs, the songwriter portion of your songs, for financial gain. And doing so, you need to have the correct licensing structure, correct registrations, copyrights, and the paperwork really needs to be in order, because some people will say it's cents on the dollar what songwriters earn. And the mechanical royalty rate today, royalties rate 2024 is 12.4 cents per unit, according to Royalty Solutions, for songs under 5 minutes in length, or 2.38 cents per minute for recordings over 5 minutes. Right. So that's the mechanical rate. So that's the physical. Somebody does a cover version of your song, or it gets played in like album sales, downloads, permanent downloads, or any of the mechanical uses for your song, you get 12.4 cents per unit. It can add up, right? It's while you're asleep. And that's the definition of financial freedom, making money while you sleep, right? So that's why I am a big proponent of music. A lot of people out there saying, we need more doctors and more lawyers, and we already have too many rappers and too musicians. I don't think we have enough. And especially, don't let me get started, how many rappers we've lost, from Nipsey. Name it, P&B Rock, Pop Smoke. These are mainstream artists that I'm listing. These aren't even the underground rappers that you hear that are from New Orleans or regional, and they make noise in their neighborhood, but they haven't really expanded their reach beyond their region or their locality. And how many of them pass away solely with music being a amplified noise, or an amplified way to verbalize your unpleasantries, and it can really hurt the community. We lost Tupac, Biggie, Nipsey, Pop Smoke. So we need more rappers. But the point is, we always need more musicians, dude. Like, it's not just we need more doctors and lawyers. Like, of course, we need more of everybody. Let's not downplay the power of music in health and wellness, with money. I remember growing up, I am originally from Compton, California. Growing up, I kind of looked at rappers as something that is frowned upon in my community, even though I was raised on hip hop. But if you told somebody you was a rapper growing up, they kind of chuckled at you a little bit. They laughed at you a little bit, or they side-eyed you a little bit if you're a DJ, because it was just another one. So it was almost like you don't want it to be another statistic where I was grown from where I grew up in Compton, California. So I'm like, okay, I hoop. I guess that's another statistic. But I wish, and I talk to my good friend Horn all the time, and I wish music which was a big part of our childhood. But I wish we took it more seriously. We did basketball, but we didn't understand. It was, you got to get signed. You got to get signed. I remember somebody got signed in high school. Oh man, the word spread around like wildfire. He just got signed. He just got signed to Universal. I remember there was a guy named Royce that went to Narbonne High School in Harbor City, California. That's where I attended. And he got signed. It was big news. Another cool fact is Tyga. Tyga enrolled at Narbonne. He probably didn't even stay a semester, 2 semesters. And he was out of there. Lord knows if he got kicked out or if he transferred schools. But I will say this story about Tyga, and this is God is my witness, man. I ain't over here trying to be over here snitching or telling on people, but it's podcast world, right? So my one involvement with Tyga. I was in high school. I forget the grade. I want to say freshman year, sophomore year. And in our homeroom, they're playing Tyga's music video. Like the TV that we had up in the corner of the classroom was broadcasting to all the homerooms Tyga's music video. And it was, oh, that's Tyga. He's next up. Wow, boo. So, he was getting the creep buzz. Then he checked into Narbonne. I'm sitting on the pole, which is our popular area because I play basketball. And Tyga, brand new to the school, walks right over to the pole, to the famous, to the popular area, quote unquote, right? And he walks up to everybody and he has a backpack. He opens his backpack and it's one of them things in there, boy. He ain't supposed to bring those to school. And so the homie trying to sell it. He walking perfect, person to person on the pole, trying to get it off. And it was like, oh, whoa, that was my first introduction to him. Like, oh, he a real one. In my head, I'm a basketball player, captain of the basketball team. I had 16 against Sarah. But I did my thing. But yeah, that was my first introduction to him. And I'm like, oh, whoa. And, that's what it takes to be who he is today. He really went through it. I was there. I witnessed Tyga really in these streets, doing what he had to do to better his life. So good for him. I'm so glad for him. I heard, he Taste. It came on my Pandora today, man. It's a classic. It's an evergreen. That's what they call music industry classics. And it's called evergreen, right? So not to get off topic, but this is the very first one. And I just want to pretty much introduce myself and just really kind of hit home on this is going to be a free-flowing podcast. The structure is still being developed. I want to be transparent with you. And once I develop the structure, I definitely will probably be able to stay on topic a little bit more. But I just want to give you an overview of how deep this songwriting stuff really gets. The music industry is going through a lot, but there is a revolution. Downtown Holdings was just sold to Atlantic Records, a division of Universal Music Group. They acquired Downtown Music Holdings. And Downtown Music Holdings holds various independent subsidiaries. And subsidiary. I'm sorry. Right? And trying to use big words y'all too, right? And so now with those subsidiaries being acquired by Universal, then they own that, right? They monopolize that. So whatever comes in, indirectly, directly, however, whatever angle you looks at, they're the parent company. And so what does this mean for indie artists? You listen to some great songwriter influencers and music execs on Instagram. I'll get you their Instagrams. They give great knowledge. Ryan Schmidt, he's a Esquire, he's a lawyer. And what's the and then Demiza, the American record producer. I love I subscribe to his channel on Instagram. And they give really behind the scenes insight because they've been in it. Mind you, I'm from Compton, California. I've been around music my whole life. I heard of the TLC cases. You hear about MC Hammer going broke. You know, these are tales that as we're growing up, you hear about Illuminati, right? Like I'm saying, like, we heard about Illuminati and we see what's going on now. I'm going to whisper that because if I say it too loud, I might be canceled if I get to episode 2. Jeez. But growing up in Compton, hearing all those tales, you never really fully understand it. And just graduating from the University of Miami and understanding music publishing now and the record label and what it takes and the copyrights and masters and how much of what side gets this side, how the law states copyrights, the copyright law of musical composition, and it favors the publisher. So if you don't know as a songwriter what you're getting into, you're just making music, the law is set up for you to lose against the publisher. So I actually think the music industry is not in shambles as popular America is saying it is now, even though with a lot of eye-opening cases and this being acquired, I think there's an indie revolution that's underway here. It's been going on for a while, and I think that this is the wave. And so with Universal actually purchasing an indie holdings company, lets me further know that independent music is thriving. It's easy. I explained to my friend, Damisi, I gave him an analogy that I stand by. You know, each song is like a mini house. It's like mini real estate in music. And if it's exploited correctly, the perceived value of that composition can increase and increase significantly, especially with the power of social media. We may be losing TikTok, which is another story. But that was the number one musical platform. They beat out YouTube, TikTok. We actually might be facing a ban. So I think that's actually going to hurt independent music much more than anything else, is the loss of TikTok. You know, now whether it increase the quality or quantity of music, it's all sounds. We're all artists. We're all creatives. Right? You're a creator. You're a songwriter. Right? So, welcome to Beyond The Stu. 18 minutes in. I really enjoyed this first episode with you guys. I only promise to get better from here. And I'm looking forward to connecting with you guys. You'll be able to find this podcast wherever you get your podcast. And Beyond The Studio's the name. Beyond The Stu is brought to you by me. And I'm looking forward to just keeping this going. So I'll see you at the next episode. You guys have a fantastic day today and keep going.